So this applies no matter whether you're keeping all of Shabbat, some of Shabbat, or none of Shabbat. You can still zone in, set a time aside on Shabbat, on Saturday, for this type of exercise, and you will have a deeper clarity. I'll be curious to see whether you feel that you get a different access, a different clarity on Shabbat. So what we're going to do is before Shabbat, before your Friday night sunset, I want you to write down 100 things you're grateful for. Now, these 100 things are could be the littlest thing, right? So it's not just like I'm grateful for my body. It's like I'm grateful for my eyes and sight and imagining what your life would be like without that sight. And I'm grateful for my ears. Imagine what my life would be like, God forbid, if I couldn't hear, right? And then I imagine if I couldn't taste all the beautiful taste. So you can go through your body. You could knock off like 20, 30 things just for your body, right? And then you could go through different relationships, and then you could go through your physical property and what you have. And then you could go through, right? So the more specific you get and the more detailed, the more it's easy to generate a large list. But I want you to write 100 things you're grateful for. Just spend 5 minutes writing those 100 things. And they're the things that you're going to do on Shabbat in the meditation. So on Shabbat, when you have your list of 100, I want you to take a few deep breaths. And I want you to spend a couple minutes, let's say 2 minutes, have a clock near you, like a watch or a clock on the wall, and just spend 2 minutes calming yourself down and centering, focusing on your breath, if that helps. If you don't want to focus on breath, you could focus on a word like shalom, which means peace, right? Wholeness. And you just focus on the breath or on the word, and then at some point when your mind wanders off into like, what am I doing later today, right? I want you to just gently bring your mind back to the breath or your focal point. It could be the word, it could be the breath, whatever it is. Mind wanders off, just gently bring it back. And I want you to do that, let's say for 3 minutes. And after that, the whole point of that is just to calm yourself and center yourself, right? Quieten yourself down. It's a very typical method of quietening yourself down. Some people call it a type of transcendental meditation where you just focus on a mantra or you focus on a focal point. Have a focal point. When your mind wanders off, just gently notice it's wandered off and bring it back. And that training of the mind back to the focal point is very calming and quietens us down. That's step one. Step two is have your list out with you and then start to talk aloud to a divine source and higher power about what you're grateful for, right? To say thank you. I mean, when we say thank you, we have to say thank you to someone or something, right? You don't just say thank you to the air. You're saying thank you to the source that gave you whatever it is you were given, right? When someone gives you a present, you thank the person, and we should also be thanking God because God sent them as a messenger to us. So here on Shabbat, it's really about building our relationships with ourselves and with others when we eat with them and we hang out with them, quality time with family, and with a higher power, right? It's a very deep opportunity to build that relationship with a higher power because we can feel the connection so much more. So on this day, we're practicing saying thank you to a higher power, divine source, God, for the things that we've been given. And just go through the things and just allow yourself to not just rattle them off from your head, but to actually feel it from your heart and imagine what your life would be like without the thing you're saying thank you for, right? That's a really, really important thing. And after you finish doing the list, just letting yourself be quiet for full, hopefully by then you'll be filled with gratitude and appreciation. And we know that is what is like the set point of happiness, right? There's a book called Thanks if you want to look it up. But it's essentially saying that each of us have a set point of happiness that we hover at. And then spikes happen throughout our lives. They did a lot of research on this. Spikes happen. Like someone wins the lottery. So they measured people's set point of happiness. And then after they won the lottery, it obviously went up. And then 6 months later, they were back to exactly that same set point of happiness. And they found that the only thing that increases that set point internally of happiness is gratitude, right? So if we want to truly be joyful, despite what's going on around us, the world could be falling apart, like, right? At the moment, it kind of is. And we want to experience more happiness. If we focus on what we're grateful for, it will increase our happiness, right? That's what all the studies are finding. That's what positive psychology is based on. It all comes out of Judaism 101, right? The foundation of a Jew is to thank and to be grateful. So after the 100 thank yous and focusing on what you're grateful for, just allowing a few minutes for your own personal prayers, asking for help with anything, requests. Again, you don't have to be completely convinced that you believe and you're so clear that you're speaking to a higher power. Just, it's all an experiment. Treat it like an experiment. and see what happens, right? Why not? It's free. No one needs to know about it. It's in the privacy of your own home, right? Just experiment, because really at the end of the day, there's no bigger concept that will be more profoundly life-changing than if there is a divine source that's involved in your personal life and is running the show, right? And if you can have a personal relationship with that divine source, I'm not sure anyone would not want to. Like, why wouldn't you want to, right? They're the source of everything. God's the source of everything. So with that, I look forward to hearing about it after Shabbat and taking it from there. Have a Shabbat Shalom, and wishing you peace, gratitude, and lots of blessing.